Oh! Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros. And I know we didn't technically get walked off, but man, that feels like we got walked off if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm recapping Game 39 of the regular season. Astros fall to the Angels 7-6. We got out hit 8-6, but they committed 3 errors tonight, and we couldn't capitalize. This was bad. This was worse than the first game. This was worse than the second game. This is just bad. This was... I don't know what to say. I'm mad. Like, I want to get that across. I am mad. But I'm also kind of in disbelief. We've wasted our bullpen. We have destroyed our bullpen. We have used, and I want to get all the notes right, we have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bullpen pitchers in the past 2 days. We have drained them. We have used, and again, I want to make this correct, Luis Garcia, Cionel Perez, Andre Scrub, Ryan Presley, Brooks Raley, Davinsky, Cy Sneed, Blake Taylor, Inoli Canolis, Brad Peacock, and now Castellanos out of the bullpen. And we have nothing to show for it. And it sucks. Because we really needed something to show for it. This was a bad team that we were playing against. And let me rephrase this. This is a bad team we're playing against. This is a team that is in almost dead last in the American League. The only team that is sucking worse than they are is the Boston Red Sox, which the Yankees get to beat up on every couple of weeks. And we couldn't capitalize. And we really, really needed to. Because the A's had a hard series. They are playing the Padres right now. So this would have been a great time to go and capitalize on playing a weak opponent. I gotta move my notes back there, sorry. This would have been a great time to capitalize. Great time. And we've blown this. We can salvage maybe a win tomorrow. And then we're going to have a series against the Athletics. And if we play like this, we're going to be... And I hate being negative. I hate being it, but I'm being realistic right now. If we play like we've played this series, pitching-wise, we're going to be down we're going to be down like 6-7 games by the end of the week in the division. Which, again, this is a different playoff. A lot of teams are getting in. We're going to make it. We're almost at the 40-game mark. We'll be there tomorrow. We'll be 2/3 done with the season, which is super weird to say. We're going to make the playoffs. I'm 90% confident we're making the playoffs. But we have got to tighten it up. Because if we march this team out against the Rays, the Yankees, the White Sox, the Twins, the Indians, we're going to get blown out of the water if we go out and play like we did tonight. Or this series, really, against those teams that are powerhouses. I need to stop venting and actually get on with the recap. I'm sorry about that. Jose Urquidy got the start tonight, and he looked good until he didn't. He had 3 really good innings, and then sort of fell apart in the 4th one. His pitch count got high. He started showing fatigue. It fell apart. He gave up 2 runs. He walked 3. Struck out 2. Wasn't great, but it also wasn't terrible. But maybe I'm just grading on a bell curve over the past 2 nights. Brad Peacock came in relief, and he also gave up 2 runs. He struck out 2, though. He didn't give up any walks, which is, that's a positive for Brad. Brad Peacock is a pitcher who Astros fans will always appreciate him and will always love him, even after he retires. But I think the vast majority of the league will never really know who Brad Peacock is, and it kind of makes me sad. Granted, tonight wasn't a great night, but whenever I see Peacock, I remember all the fun times we've had with Brad Peacock, and I get kind of happy. So I'm trying to take any positive I can out of tonight, and thinking of the good old days, and by good old days I mean a couple of years ago, I appreciate, and I really feel like Brad Peacock over the past couple of years has been underappreciated. Anyway, he gave up 2 runs in his inning and a third of work, so that wasn't great. And then Castellanos. Man, the first inning looked so good. He looked so good. That first inning. He looked great. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. He looked dominant. And as much as I want to blame Dusty Baker for leaving him in there, I really can't. Like, he looked good. I mean, hindsight will say, well, it was the bottom third of their lineup. It was literally their 3 worst hitters because that's where they put Shohei Ohtani pinch hit, excuse me. Like, reason would tell you it was their 7th, 8th hitters, and then Shohei Ohtani pinch hit, and Shohei Ohtani has not been having a great season. Walked us off, though. And so reason might have said, hey, you got a great inning out of him, but let's go somewhere else. But at the same time, because I was sitting there thinking, and I'm in a large Discord. It's the Astros Center Discord, which I'm sure most people watching this know that, or know who that is. And a lot of them are saying, why did we leave him out there? And I think that's a valid thing to say if we had more than we have in the bullpen at the moment. But like, who would we put out there? We used Scrub yesterday. We used Presley yesterday. We used Perez yesterday. We probably wouldn't have used him, but we used Garcia yesterday. And then earlier today, we used Paredes and Rayleigh. Like, who else do we have? Who could we have put out there logistically? Who could we have put out there? Like, I want to get on Dusty Baker and say, he cost us the game because he didn't pull Castellanos, but he looked pretty good he looked great against bad players. I'm going to say he looked good in the 6th. And who do we have? So as much as I want to shift blame to Dusty Baker for that, I really can't because our bullpen has been shredded the past 2 days, past 3 games. And so this was a hard game. And so I'm sorry if my thoughts are just not good right now. But this is a heartbreaker. This might have been more of a heartbreaker than earlier today. And the offense did pretty good. 6 runs, like, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's good. We put up 15 runs today, and we lost both games. Which sucks. That really, it bites. It's not neato. It is unneat. I bumped the camera, and to be honest, I'm sorry about that. Springer led off the game. Home run. It was a very nice home run. I believe now he is 7th all time in leadoff home run, so that's good for Springer. 6th home run of the year, I believe. And that'll come into vogue in a second. So that was great to see Springer getting a hold of one, especially out there. It would have been into the Crawford boxes. And speaking of, Tucker kind of got robbed on a home run at Houston, since this was a home game. In Houston would have been a home run, but c'est la vie. I wonder if that one run would have come into vogue later on in the game. On the second, Reddick hit a 3-run home run, giving us a 4-run lead, which we would then blow. We blew 5 leads today? 6? 5. This was a rough day. This was a really rough day for the Astros. Like I said, Reddick hit a 3-run home run. That put us up 4-0. And then in the 5th, Springer hit his 2nd home run of the night. I've said it a couple times, but I'm going to keep saying it till it eventually happens. I think Springer might be back. He saw the ball pretty well today. I think he had 2 hits earlier today also. Like in the other game. It might have been yesterday's game that he had a couple of hits. But I'm thinking maybe there's a possibility that Springer is back to his old self. And I really hope so, because we need him, especially with Altuve going on the IL, which I don't think I mentioned that earlier. But Altuve is now on a 10-day IL, which... why not? Why not just hit us while we're down? My brain can't articulate the feelings I want to display. And the words coming out of my mouth are just awful. And the grammar coming out of my mouth is awful. And I understand that. But this is such a rough day for the Astros, and really a rough series so far, that I can't compute, man. Like, that's the best way I can put it. I don't know how to compute at this point. This has been a rough couple days, and we really need to turn the boat around tomorrow and get a win under our belt during the series, try to pick our heads up, and move into Oakland, and we got to take a couple games. We got to at least 3-2 the series. It's a 5-game series. We have a doubleheader. We got to at least win 3 of the 5. And I say this in the sense of, if we don't have to, obviously, but if we want any legitimate chance at winning the East, or the West, excuse me, we got to win. We got to win 3 of 5. That is going to be a very, very important series, which is after tomorrow's game. And Valdez will be starting tomorrow. So thank you for listening to my ramblings as I sat here a little disoriented, just trying to mentally recover from 2 walk-offs and then what basically is a walk-off tonight. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Stros.